sex, sex with animals, sex with the same gender, sex by self-induced gratification, and some are even trying to change their sex. Just sex, sex, sex. Listen, sex is not a lifestyle. No. Sex is the magnificent handiwork of God. He made man and male, and then he made female, no in between. I get so sick of sissies, I don't know what to do. I'm sick of sissies. And half the time they, bringing them in somebody's church, fanning over somebody's choir, I'm sick of sissies.
I logged into my Instagram account and I saw one of my favorite male singers on my timeline. He just announced that he's dropping a new album, but he actually made another announcement within the past 24 hours. Actually, I'm being very extravagant because he literally just posted within the past 2 to 3 hours. But it was something he wanted to share publicly. And I found the news to be very exciting, and I thought that the news was adorable. I'll tell you what he shared. He was celebrating his baby's birthday. His baby turned 1 year old. I was very surprised that he had a baby because this is his first child and he never talked about having a baby before. And I didn't even know he was in a relationship. I knew he recently went through a divorce, but he was in a relationship with a new woman and they just had a baby that is 1 year old today. And the comment section was going crazy. People were like, oh, this is so much news in less than 48 hours. Like you're dropping a new album and you have a new baby and you're in a relationship with a new woman. And everybody was excited and giving him congratulations. And I thought it was very interesting because he had thousands and thousands of likes and shares from this clip of him announcing that he's celebrating his baby's birthday. He had his baby in his arms and the baby's face was censored. And he was just so happy. You could just see the father's smile. He was just beaming with joy. It was something that I couldn't help but to notice. There was a few other people who were sharing information publicly on social media. And these people had one thing in common. And that one thing that they had in common is that they were coming out. They were coming out. And you might say, well, why would you say that they were coming out? Because coming out only is associated with people who are homosexual or they're part of the LGBTQIA plus community. Really? Do you really believe that? Because if coming out only applies to people who are in the LGBTQ plus community, then what do you call people announcing that they're in a new relationship with someone of the opposite sex and that they just had a baby together and they're in a heterosexual relationship together? What do you call that? And they announce it publicly on a platform where thousands and possibly even millions of people can view their announcement. And these people are not homosexuals. They're not a part of the LGBTQ community. I think they're coming out because they're in relationships with someone of the opposite sex. They're announcing their relationship. They're announcing that they have a new baby. They're telling the world about what's going on in their life. And everybody is celebrating with them. They're giving them congratulations. They're supporting them. They're encouraging them to do their thing. to be themselves, to live their life. They're coming out. I couldn't help but notice that there were quite a few people who were coming out on my timeline. And every last one of them were in heterosexual relationships. I could count on one hand how many people that I saw on my timeline who were coming out, who were homosexual or LGBTQ+. I could count literally less than 5 people. And this is very noticeable, and I'll tell you why. Because on social media, I follow a lot of people who are homosexual and LGBTQ+. But yet, even though I follow, meaning the majority of the people that I may follow on social media are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or LGBTQ+, still, heterosexual people dominated my timeline. And they were announcing that they're in a heterosexual relationship. They were announcing that they had a baby in a heterosexual relationship. I think they were coming out. There's a lot of people who think people announcing their relationship online, as well as letting the world know that they're pregnant or they're showing you their new baby, they think that is perfectly fine. They think that is wonderful, as long as the person is heterosexual. Heterosexual people come out all the time, and they don't face any backlash. They don't get any criticism. They don't get any judgment about their sexual orientation. And so they keep coming out. And the reason why they keep coming out is because they're accepted. But imagine coming out when you're not accepted, LGBTQIA+. Certain heterosexual people, when they see somebody on their timeline, on social media, who is a person who identifies lesbian, gay, bisexual, or LGBTQ+, and they are in a relationship with someone of the same sex, and they announce that they're expecting a new child, or they show that they have a child together in their same-sex attracted marriage, all of a sudden I notice that the comment section looks very, very different. I see angry emojis. I see the emoji of the green face that shows it's vomiting. I see various comments where people are bashing gays and lesbians and LGBTQ+ people. There's people who copy and paste scriptures in the comment section about Sodom and Gomorrah and how a man shouldn't lie with a man. All of a sudden, the climate changes very drastically. Everybody's angry. Everybody is showing their bad side. For someone who announced that they are in a relationship with someone of the same sex, they announced that they're expecting a child and they're in a relationship with someone of the same sex. They showed their family, their children, that they have in a same-sex partnership. And it was just one person, just literally one person on the timeline. The one gay person on the timeline who announced that they were in a relationship together. And it was a same-sex relationship. Maybe it was a relationship between two males. Maybe it was a relationship between two females. But it was literally just that one person. Or let's just say it was that couple. The gay couple, that same-sex attracted couple who made the announcement. Next thing I know, all of the heterosexual people in the comment section under their social media account, their profile page, the heterosexual people went nuts and they condemned this couple because they are in a homosexual relationship. The happy gay family, they started to say statements like, 2 men can't have a baby together, or 2 women can't have a baby together. Or they said, you should be ashamed of yourself having a child and you're a homosexual. Or they made comments as, Jesus is coming back soon. Repent! Or you're going to hell. But I just saw like 10 plus different social media profiles where it was heterosexual people saying the exact same thing that this one homosexual couple said. They said the same thing. They were coming out. They were coming out with their great news to share with the world, but they received drastic responses. The heterosexual people, they were celebrated, but the homosexual couple was degraded. And they were saying, who are the theys? The heterosexual people who were in the comment section of the one homosexual couple who announced their relationship, or who announced the start of their new family with their new child, or in addition to their family. They said, gays need to stop coming out. Gays need to stop coming out. That's what they said. So in other words, they said that it's coming out when you announce publicly that you are in a gay relationship or a lesbian relationship. They said that it's coming out when you are in a homosexual relationship and you have a child or children, and so you are coming out, and they think that you need to stay in the closet. They don't think that you should share publicly on social media or anywhere else that you are coming out. Shame on you. They're sick of seeing homosexual people on their timeline, even if it's just one person and their timeline is dominated by heterosexual people. Because I know that my timeline has some gay, lesbian, bisexual, and LGBTQ plus people on it, because the majority of the people I follow, as I said, are people of the LGBTQ plus community. But of course, I follow heterosexual people as well. I don't focus on who's coming out. I just appreciate that a person can feel safe enough, confident enough, and happy enough to announce that they are in a relationship with someone who they love, and that they are a new parent, whether they are a father or a mother. I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, coming out to the heterosexual community who is anti-LGBTQ plus, and that's not all heterosexual people, but the people who are anti-LGBTQ plus from the heterosexual community, they think when you come out that you are forcing yourself on them, and therefore you should stay in the closet. You should be ashamed of yourself. But they completely miss the mark. They don't understand or know what coming out is about. Coming out is not for them. Coming out is for us. Coming out is for the individual person. The person who comes out did it for themselves, does it because they're acknowledging who they are, they're expressing themselves, and they're being themselves. And they don't do it for the applause. They don't do it for the validation. They don't do it for your approval. They don't do it to gain your acceptance. They do it because they deserve to do it. They do it because they have the right to do it. They do it because they are a human being. They come out to say, I was here. The human experience requires for us to connect with one another through communication. We are not intended to be isolated or hidden. We are not supposed to be ashamed of ourselves. We are not supposed to feel inferior. And we are not supposed to be mistreated. When we come out for ourselves. And every person who comes out makes it a little bit easier for someone else to come out. So the next time I see someone on my timeline who says gays need to stop coming out on social media, they try to pick your brain. They'll try to see if you're going to clap back. They like to provoke you. They like to antagonize you. They like to prevent you from coming out. Because coming out is not a one-time occurrence. If you identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or LGBTQ+, you are going to come out for the rest of your life. People see me coming out every day, and they're just going to have to deal with it. Let's be ourselves. Let's love ourselves. Let's encourage one another. Go in somebody's comment section who's being bashed and harassed and uplift them. Because we don't go over to heterosexual people land on social media or wherever they're at and bash them for coming out and saying, hey, I'm with her now. Hey, I'm with him now. And it's, of course, a heterosexual relationship. Or they announce that they're pregnant and they're in a heterosexual relationship. We don't go over there bashing them. We don't go over there saying, oh, I hate to see heterosexual people always hooking up. I hate to see them getting married. I hate to see them growing their families. I hate y'all. We don't do that, but they do that to us. They don't have a right to come over to your social media platform, or they don't have the right to be anywhere within your vicinity and discriminate against you, because you have just as much right to be here as they are. Gays, lesbians, bisexual, and LGBTQ+ people, keep coming out. I am Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author.